Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Entertainment Brick Show. Today is Wednesday, September 21st, and this is the release of the first three episodes of Andor. I watched them all, got up early this morning to watch them all. They were incredible. They were so good. All of them, I liked all of them. It was a lot of talking in the first two, but episode three really went great with the action. I thought all the action moments were great. And there was still more talking there as well, but it was still very interesting. The first three episodes were incredible, amazing storyline. And I'm so excited for episode four and all of the rest of the episodes of the season. I apologize right now. I'm actually a little sick right now. I got like a headache and stuff like that, so I might be not as properly vocal, I guess, about my thoughts on the show, just because I am very tired, stuff like that. So. I still want to make this video, though, talking about the first three episodes of Andor, because, again, they were amazing. I really enjoyed them. Episode 3 was, specifically episode 3, I thought was incredible. It was just such a really great action scenes. Got me very hyped up. I'm like, man, this is really cool to finally watch, like, some really cool Star Wars action moments. Very reminiscent of Rogue One, I thought, which I really enjoyed because I love Rogue One. But yeah, overall, an amazing first three episodes. Great debut, and I cannot wait for the rest of the season. So of course, I think originally I was going to do or cover the show weekly, but I think I might change that because I just feel like 12 episodes is kind of a lot. Or in this case, I think it would just end up being 9 more weeks? I think, is that right? 8 or 9 more weeks, I think, of the series. And I just think that's kind of a lot to cover every week. So I'm thinking instead of doing every week, I would do every 3 weeks, because every 3 episodes is like an arc in the show, kind of, from what I know. And I'll cover it that way instead of every week. So like after episode 4, 5, and 6, then I'll do a video covering those 3 episodes. Then 7, 8, 9, do a video covering those 3 episodes, and then the final 3 as well. So, and then we'll probably do that for season 2, but season 2 is gonna be way in the future, anyways. But yeah. So that's, we're going to do the first 3 here, then the next couple weeks or 3 weeks after that will be 4, 5, 6. But also, as for the show, I wanted to make more set ideas for the show, and there really wasn't a lot to work with here, to be completely honest with you. I mean, it's a lot of talking in different places on planets and stuff like that, so it's not a lot of like cool action moments that could really be translated well into a Lego set. I think that they definitely should do more Lego sets for this show, because I think it's a really great show. I think a lot of people are going to like it. I know they only did one, but it was somewhat overpriced and came with like 3 minifigures. Wasn't that worth it at all, really, I thought. And I didn't even get it. I didn't even end up picking it up. But I have a list here of 3 sets, one episode, 1 set, that all, are all based off the show. All 3 of them are ships, just because, again, there wasn't really anything I could really take from any of these episodes and translate it well into an actual Lego set, besides some of the ships that were shown in the episodes. So there will be, all 3 of them will be ships, but I think the minifigures will be kind of like interesting for the sets and stuff like that, and obviously I'll show pictures and things like that of what the ships will look like, or what they were from the episodes. So why don't we get into that? And as we get into that, I'll continue talking about how great the show was, I bet, in the first 3 episodes, and kind of breaking it down, talking about it all. But yeah, let's do that now. So these set ideas will contain spoilers for the first 3 episodes of Andor. So if you don't want to, if you haven't watched the show yet, if you haven't watched the episodes yet, then don't watch this. There will be some spoilers in here for some of the set ideas that I do have, but we'll start off with episode 1. Again, episode 1 was a lot of talking. It was a great opening sequence. I loved the opening scene. And it just immediately set the tone for how kind of gritty and more mature, more serious of a show that Andor truly is. And that is also translated into the set as well, because the first one I put on here, the best way to describe it would be the murder on Morlena 1. Which is like based off the opening scene here, as well as some figures in here that are related to the build, but not so much the scene where the build came from completely, or like where the original first time that we see this build. So let me explain. So it'd be like a $50 set, and it would come with Cassian Andor from episode 1 in the beginning scene where he has his hood up, so he'll have like his hooded look. And then we have a Morlena 1 corporate officer, soldier, whatever, and there's two of them because that represents what happened in the beginning scene of the show. Actually, I already established spoilers, so I can talk about the spoilers. Basically, Cassian Andor in the beginning of the series, and this kind of kicks off these first three episodes, the storyline for these first three episodes. Cassian Andor accidentally kills this not accidentally, but mostly accidentally kills one of these Morlena 1 corporate soldiers, and then ends up killing the second one without hesitation because, he can't just leave him alive. He's going to go tell the other, authorities and get Cassian Andor hunted. Regardless, he gets hunted anyways, but it'll be two of those soldiers. There's this other character towards the end of the episode named Pegla, who is kind of like seems to be working at the shipyard where Cassian Andor took this ship. And then Pegla also had these like yard rat hounds that were searching for yard rats on all the ships and stuff like that, and there was two of them. So you're going to be getting here, let me see, three, like six-ish figures sort of, four humans and then two hound creatures or characters, whatever. Probably more like molded pieces, I would think, is what they would end up looking like. But yeah, two of them, Pegla, who again, another character towards the end of the episode, Cassian Andor with a hood on, and then these two corporate Morlena 1 soldiers. Well, I guess, they aren't too drastically important. I guess you could just kind of use them as like army building these Morlena 1 soldiers if you'd like. But yeah, those two will be included, just kind of like enemies to fight, you know what I mean? And the actual build here of the set, I don't know what this actual ship is called or, what the model is, anything like that. I'm not super crazy able to identify a ship immediately like that, in Star Wars. But I just called it, the Pegla's shipyard ship, whatever. I didn't really know what to call it because, again, I don't know what the model of the ship is or the name of it at all. But it's basically the ship from the beginning where Cassian Andor takes the ship and escapes on it off of Morlena 1. And then at the end when he's kind of like, I think he was swapping out one of like the pieces to the ship so that he wasn't tracked about where he went or anything like that. But yeah, like that ship from those scenes would be the ship that you would get in here, and it'd be like a $50 value, pretty fairly large ship generally. But yeah, this would just be, again, all three of these episodes, it was kind of difficult to find different ships and stuff, or builds basically, other than the ships here that were somewhat unique to actually make, Lego, full-blown Lego sets off of, so hence why I kind of had to really stretch here a little bit, but I think, it'd be a good ship build and be a nice model to have in your collection. Come with some interesting figures as well as a few molded hound characters. So I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world. But yeah, $50 for that. Then we'll move on to episode 2, which was, much more talkative, kind of building up more of Cassian Andor's life with people around him and stuff like that. And this one is just called The Buyer's Arrival on Ferrix, because of course this is, in episode 2, what is his name? Stellan Skarsgård, I believe. His character, Luthen Rail. I don't think that's how you say his name correctly, but that's how I'm going to go with it for now. Luthen Rail arrives on Ferrix to meet with Cassian Andor about a trade of a very valuable item. It seems that the Empire had or something like that Cassian Andor was able to steal. So, this would be like $60. This would be another ship build, because again, all three of these are going to be ships, but this would be the largest of the sets here for these first three episodes. This would be the largest ship, that would be getting a set based off of it here. So the characters are going to be Andor, of course. Episode 2 is kind of episode 2 look with his jacket and stuff like that. This would come with Luthen Rail, of course, from episode 2 as well. Kind of like with this long coat kind of looking thing here. Then Surreal Karn, I don't know if that's how you say his name exactly, but he's kind of like the main villain, if you will, of these first three episodes so far. And he's, kind of have his episode 2 look. Actually, I believe he was the villain minifigure who came in the Assault on Ferrix, big ship that was like $70, or actually not even big ship, smaller ship that was $70, like the Andor set that Lego actually made. I believe he was included in that set. But yeah, he'd be included in this one as well with, his officer uniform and stuff like that. Then this would also come with Sergeant Linus Mosk, who is another Morlena 1 sergeant who came alongside Surreal Karn, and I can't say his name right, but he also went alongside Surreal Karn in trying to find Cassian Andor on Ferrix. And then we have another Morlena 1 officer, just kind of continue building some more enemy characters, to have And then it would also come with Tim Carlo and Bix Colleen, who are two characters from the show that Cassian is closely what's the word, connected to, I guess. Bix Carleen is someone who helped Cassian to contact Luthen Rail and, get him to be able to sell his product to Luthen. And then Tim Carlo is the guy who ratted out Cassian Andor, and is also in a relationship with Bix Carleen. So it got pretty crazy. I'm telling you, these first three episodes were really, really cool. But yeah, these two characters are going to be also be included because they were fairly important to the storyline of these first three episodes, this first arc in the Andor series. So they will also be included here. So it's kind of like a lot of these sets are just kind of taking certain ship builds in this case, and then just kind of throwing in figures that are somewhat related to the scenes that these builds are rather in, or scenes from different episodes that were very important. Because you'd want to include some of these more main character sort of characters, I guess. But the build here for this $60 set here is Luthen Rail's ship, which is very briefly shown, but it didn't actually kind of look like a pretty cool model. When they did the interior shot of the actual ship, it gave me Millennium Falcon vibes like crazy. If you watch the episodes or have seen the episodes, I think you could probably get what I mean. The hallways were very similar, and even the cockpit looked very similar as well. So this would be a nice build and ship to have in another collection, nice model as well. So yeah, that's episode 2. Now episode 3, definitely my favorite episode of the bunch here to start us off. Throughout the 3 episodes, there has been kind of somewhat like 2 storylines going on here. There is the present storyline, which, obviously Cassian Andor murdered these 2 Morlena 1 soldiers, and now Morlena 1 officers are coming after him on Ferrix. And then there's also a flashback storyline to when Cassian Andor was a child and was born on Canary, I believe the planet was called. And he was, there was a ship that crashed on his planet, and they were going to investigate, and all of this whole situation happened, and then eventually he was found by his Andor parents, I guess, Andor, relative parents, I guess, because his name isn't really Andor, or Cassian Andor rather. It's Casa, I believe his name was in what they were calling him. So episode 3 here is called Escape from Canary. This would be like a $40 set. And it would come with Casa, who is, of course, Cassian Andor, just younger and a part of like these tribal people on Canary. And so, he's like a younger child at this point. He has like a staff or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was. And then it also comes with Marva. I don't know how to say their name exactly here, but Marva Andor, who is, the person who I guess technically adopted Cassian Andor. And then also Clem Andor, who also, once again, adopted Cassian Andor. And then B2EMO, who they just call B in the show. He's like the little droid that they have kind of walking around in the first 3 episodes. Very cool droid character. And then the build is going to be Marva Andor's ship, which is the ship that they escape on at the end of the episode, taking Casa from that planet from Canary, and obviously leading us into his present day, where he's now just kind of like a regular person at this point. So yeah, very, very cool episode, really great episode, finishing up both the flashback storyline and the present day storyline, leading us into the next arc of 3 episodes. So very, very exciting. But yeah, those are my 3 ideas for sets. Again, that was very hard to kind of find unique and interesting Lego set ideas based off these first 3 episodes, because it's a lot of just, like I said, talking, a lot of, building up plot line and building up exposition and stuff like that, and not a lot of action, which doesn't make me, I'm completely fine with it. I like all the talking, I like all like the conversations that these characters have, but it just makes it, making Lego ideas a little bit more difficult for this show, but I'm not worried about it. I'm excited for the next 3 episodes for sure. And yeah, so there you have it. That's all the 3 episodes and 3 sets for per episode. So there you go. So there you all have it. Once again, I can't stress this more enough. This show is amazing. I cannot wait for the next arc of episodes and all the other arcs coming up. I really enjoy myself with this show. Again, the action sequences are incredible. When even though they were somewhat few, minus episode 3, that's kind of like where a lot of the action took place. I just love all the build up of all these characters and all these plot points building up for this very large, like, climactic moment in episode 3. And yeah, I'm very, very excited. I know I keep repeating myself, but I really am excited. So there you all have it. That is my somewhat of a review of Andor, the first 3 episodes, as well as giving my set ideas for the first 3 episodes as well. So there you go. If you enjoyed that video, do the Call YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later.